Hey everyone, this is Jake, and today we are going to be talking about Evolve 1, which is a new Awakening mechanic unit that Global Server just got. So we'll talk about this thing and how good this thing is and how to kind of use this comp and everything, because it's a little bit different and it needs some requirement compared to any other comps out there. So let's jump into video and talk about Evolve 1. The main thing about Evolve 1 is that it absorbs your ally mechanics to buff itself, and then is able to stack up to 3 times, so it needs to drain 3 different individual mechanic units, and then is able to be stacked at a 3 passive skill. It will increase its damage and such, so it will be at full power and start melting through all your enemies. Now there is a bit of downside with Evolve 1, is that it won't be able to be healed and it won't be able to be buffed, but trade-off is Awakening Defender units, so it's massive HP, massive defense, and it has a damage limit as well. Not to mention it has debuff immunity, so you can't really debuff this thing. I mean, there are certain characters down the road it can stun, just like Awakening Jake and such, so there is that. But it can still receive the buff from operators, so Sigma will be very good options because it's able to give it barriers and such. When it comes to gear options, Evolve 1 is definitely the best with the maze cooldown sets. It has to launch the nuke, which is the ultimate skill, so fastest way to launch that nuke is going to be giving you a victory in a lot of battles you fight throughout PvP. So a maze cooldown set with the maximum skill haste is pretty much a no-brainer move to go, and that will be always the best option for Evolve 1. Don't try to bother go with the defensive options or such. You better go all the way offensive and you should do very good. If you are that crazy and if you want to go for a bit of upgrades over maze gear, we'll be going for is exclusive weapons. It's pretty much same thing as a maze gear for this yellow looking one. It has a skill haste for main option and anti-ground damage for the bottom option. So you can go for this weapons, but amount of efforts and amount of set binary that might have to go in to get to this weapon into skill haste sets, I don't think is really worth it. So just go with the maze cooldown sets and you should do pretty good. So let's talk about Evolve 1 within PvE and PvP contents. And first of all, for PvE side, Evolve 1 is definitely not that great. The main reason being is it cannot be buffed and it cannot be healed. Those two factors comes along too big together and it's just not really worth using it. So overall is definitely not a great pick for PvE contents. If it was able to get buffed and healed just for PvE contents, I would say Evolve 1 might be really good, but unless that happens, I don't think it will ever rise up to any meta spots. When it comes to PvP sides, I think that's where Evolve 1 shines the most, because it is one of the best units that can be used with the PvP because it is very easy to use. A requirement for this is a lot easier than any other comps out there, because you just need very good gear set for Evolve 1, and any other feeder like Glitch, Sparrow, Woodpecker and stuff like that, they don't really require gear, to be honest with you. And then whatever character you throw in, like counter units to maybe some support you, or some other units to help you aid the battle, E3 to overflow, all these different options could be fitting in for Evolve 1 depending on the week. So it will keep Evolve 1 alive until it launches the nuke and such. Down the road, there'll be more PvP kind of counter character against Evolve 1 or mechanic in general, but since then Evolve 1 has gotten many other characters to help you out to fight those situations like Grendel and some other characters and such. So I don't know, I think Evolve 1 is one of the best characters that still performs one of the best within PvP contents. And not to mention Evolve 1, you can farm this thing, you just have to farm for maybe 100 days from the supply mode because it gives 30 bullets a day, and to unlock that you need to clear die 50, and during that period you will clear up the die 50 again because die will reset. So in generally it takes about 2.5 months usually to farm Evolve 1. If you farm and grind more by going crazy with the scavenger dive that spawns within the Word Branch map, then yeah, you can reduce the grind. I think it took me about a month and a half within Korean server when I farmed this thing. I've seen some people do it within bit of a month and 1 week kind of thing. I seen it. I think that's the fastest farming I've seen. So you can pretty much say this is a minimal investment for the maximum performance with the PvP contents. this thing is a monster. And since Korean server this week is glitches 1-up, it is crazy good again, and there's so many units to help Evolve 1 to survive and such. So yeah, we'll see how things will go, but in my opinion, Evolve 1 will be staying here for another year or two. We'll see how things will go, but yeah, this thing is crazy. But anyways, this is pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this one, this is Jake. I will see you guys next time with more video. Thanks for watching.